Objectives. The aim of this unit is to show you different ways of organizing notes, such as the use of tables and diagrams, and to make you aware that different types of texts require different note-taking techniques. After you complete this unit, you will be able to decide on the type of note-taking technique you require for different types of passages, and use that technique successfully. Introduction. This is the second unit on note-taking. In Unit 2, Block 3, we discussed the taking of notes from reading material and lectures in terms of the following. I. Reading with a purpose in mind so as to differentiate between paragraphs that contain essential information and those that do not. E. The use of shortening devices such as the use of abbreviations and symbols which will save time and effort. E. The ability to organize the material in terms of main headings and subordinate points. In this unit we shall continue our discussion on notes from reading material. We shall, however, concentrate on the organization of notes in terms of tables, charts, and diagrams. Organization of notes. Tables. We often have to take notes from passages which contain figures, contrasts, that is, differences between two things or persons, or different aspects of a single topic. It is then convenient to organize your notes in the form of lists or tables. This will make it easier to read and use the information later. A passage giving information in the form of figures. Example 1. Your purpose in reading the following passage will be to find out in the quantity of the different varieties of cooking oil used in the country and the regions where different kinds of oil are used. Edible oils are an important constituent of the Indian diet. Besides being a source of energy, they add a special flavor to food and provide a lubricating action to body tissues. In recent years, their association with different human diseases and their adulteration have become a health problem for people. A variety of cooking oils are commonly used in different parts of the country. The major sources are groundnut oil, 14,000,000 tons, mustard oil, 6,000,000 tons, and sesame and coconut oil, 1,50,000 tons. Sunflower oil, 1,000,000 tons, safflower oil, 25,000 tons, and soya bean oil, 10,000 tons, have also become popular. Groundnut and sesame oils are common in the west coast and central India, coconut oil in the south, mustard oil in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa in the east and Kashmir in the north. The annual per capita consumption of edible oils in the country was about 6 kilograms in 1984, which is lower than the world average of 11 kilograms and the average of 26 kilograms in developed countries. It is higher in the high socio-economic status group due to their use of fried preparations. It is however desirable that the daily intake of fat should not contribute more than 15% minus 20% calories in the diet. From Science Reporter. Organization of notes. Diagrams. When the information in a paragraph can be presented visually, it is better to use a drawing, a flow chart, or a tree diagram. This is especially true of scientific material, where it is simpler and clearer to express information in the form of a labeled diagram than by using words only. The diagram should present a mental picture of what you understand from the paragraph. This will make it easier for you to understand the information given in the paragraph. Flow charts. Example 3. Your purpose in reading the passage below will be to learn about the process of photosynthesis. Take notes as you read. Photosynthesis is the process by which chlorophyll-containing organisms, green plants and algae capture energy in the form of light and convert it to chemical energy. Almost all the energy available for life in the Earth's biosphere, the zone in which life can exist, is made available through photosynthesis. In the first stage of photosynthesis, chlorophyll absorbs sunlight. Chlorophyll is the green substance in leaves, which is able to trap the energy of sunlight and use it in the process of making carbohydrates. Within the leaf there is a small amount of water. The energy which the chlorophyll has trapped of the sun is used to split the water in the leaf into hydrogen and oxygen. Most of the oxygen is released into the air. In the second stage, The chlorophyll uses the energy absorbed from sunlight to combine the hydrogen, which is obtained by splitting the water, with carbon dioxide, which the leaf obtained from the air. Then, after several complicated changes, the hydrogen and the carbon dioxide are combined in such a way that a carbohydrate is produced. This carbohydrate is called glucose. Later, using glucose as its most important building material, the plant can make substances called amino acids and proteins. These chemicals are needed for the growth of both plants and animals. Something else happens during photosynthesis that is of the greatest importance to us. A constant supply of oxygen is released into the air by plants. At the same time, carbon dioxide, which would poison us if we breathed too much of it, is nearly all used up. Photosynthesis is one of the most important chemical processes in the world. This is because it is the primary method of food manufacture, and the primary method of oxygen manufacture. Tree diagrams. You already know that different kinds of passages lend themselves to different kinds of organization when we take notes. Passages that have information of a classificatory nature, for instance, can be analyzed by means of tree diagrams. Such diagrams are useful both in classifying the information and presenting it in the right order. The passage below deals with different modes of transport and their role in commerce. Read it carefully and take down notes as you read. Other diagrams. Besides flow charts and tree diagrams, there are other kinds of diagrams as well which are used to summarize the written material. Descriptive passages on scientific topics or passages which show processes can sometimes lend themselves to such diagrams. You must realize that this is not a common note-taking technique. Only when you feel that a diagram will help you understand and memorize a piece of information better, is it wise to use it.